What up, Callus? This is Sterling here, bringing some more Halo insight and strategy, and this is going to be part 2 of the Empire clip gathering and and me just spewing my thoughts. Let's just say that. Alright, so this is a highlight here. We have Valkyrie spawning in tower. He's the one who died first on his team. They had a 3-man setup. You see the X to the right. That was essentially, they have a V setup, which is a V setup, which is 3 players controlling a total of 75% of the map. So they have Lily, aka Envor, outside. They have Hunter, aka Talik, being that middleman in the base, and they had Chaz, Super CC, being another perimeter player on the tower. ISO. Corey was originally outside with Envor, but he died, lost a 1v1 battle. So now he spawns here. He realizes everybody on his team is about to die. So what he does is flips the map and instantly goes to the opposing side, opposite side. So this is really good. He starts arming. He realizes their team is, getting the red base. And this is another highlight for, I think, essentially the whole team. This is one of the highlights from the game that really stuck with me, because it seemed like this was a point that they really were on their shit, blue team. Like, they were cohesive. They knew the steps that needed to happen in order to secure this base and get map control and spread out correctly. So second player on the team who spawns, he does a good job realizing, okay, instead of me going over here to the tower or doing some other shit, like, he doubles into the base. So they're able to get that double angle, melt this guy, they kill him, and now they're double arming. And then, oh dang it, I played the film a little too fast to show. So that was the first step, that double angle right there. That was really good. So step 1, let's go back. Spawning over here, going into the base. Next person spawning, pushing out over here to double angle with him. This person spawning right here secures the lights. Now he's able to, if this guy doubles back and goes to that gap, he might be able to get the cleanup, and he'll tell the team as well if anyone's flanking from tower into the base, so they know that we can just focus on outside. We don't need to watch our court or our tower, because we know we're not going to get flanked there, because this guy should be letting us know. And then the last guy who spawns is that middleman right now. So they have these 2 people outside, so they have options here at this point. So those first 3 people who spawn, they did a great job. So this is where this 4th guy who spawns, he can coordinate. He can tell people to bump in certain places. He can essentially, say what setup they want to form. So what he could do here is he can have both these players bump outside, and he'll be the guy finishing this up, and he's going to be the middleman. He's going to be in a pair with this guy at tower, work with him, while these 2 players be the outside players. There's that option. Another option is this player can stay in the hill because he's weak, but either way, one of these 2 players, one of them stay here, and then one of them bump outside to be the outside player, and then this guy here can double up and create a strong side tower T setup. So a T setup with the 2 people tower, 1 in the base and 1 outside. So there's that. They can do that T instead of a outside, strong side outside T. So there's that option, and then and there's also the 3 1s as well. So another thing they can do is have this guy stay there, and all 3 of these guys, after arming this hill, push outside together. And then this guy can try to hold his guy on tower, or he can retract back into the base if he wants. Another thing you can do is have this guy stay here, have him all push the tower. Once they push the tower, 1 of them could stay tower, and 2 of them push into the blue base or red base to create that inside U. Another way to do that from the outside version is, say the other example, this guy stay here or retract back into the base. This guy all push outside, and then 1 can stay in middle turbine, so he can help these people pushing into red, and he can help his teammate back in blue if need be, and then have the 2 remaining players push into the red base together. So there's that option, so they can form an outside U and spawn trap the opponents in tower. So these are all steps and strategic intents you guys can have in your mind. Because I've asked to myself, what creates teamwork? I think it's two parts. The first, number one part is strategical intent. Both of you sharing the same intent, because you guys are not gonna have teamwork if you guys have two different intents. If one person's intent is to get power weapons and another guy's to get map control, you guys are not gonna be doing the same thing. So strategical intent, and the second part is execution, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, that was a tangent. So let's see what they end up doing. So they had one guy outside. They had this guy as the middleman, and they're sending. It looks like this guy's staying back too, so he's not really committing the tower to create that two-man tower ratio. And Camo's gonna be coming up first, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're pretty close, but I think Camel's coming up first, but they're pretty much around the same time as well, because 1023 power-ups are coming up. So it seems like they're not really on the same page because they have two middlemen. Another thing they could have done too is have one stay back in the base, one go outside, one go tower, and then one play the middle of the map. And then he has the option to go outside, go to the tower. So there's that option too. And also remember, when you're the back man, say we have two people outside, one tower, one in the base. If you're the base guy, don't be afraid to leave the base and push out a little bit, put some damage, and then when you get slays, go back into the base or try to block it with some nades or do what you need to do to control the spawns. Anyways, so what they end up doing is sending, I think, Chaz to tower. So they still have that back man. Maybe it would have been better for Chaz to jump up top mid. You could maybe catch this guy off guard, throw some, maybe go and transition to top tower from there. But then this guy ends up jumping, so they're sending 3 people to tower, and they have the one outside who just died. So let's go back to that. Okay, so when you're pushing outside and you're ISO and you know your team is they're not sending anybody else to go with you outside, and you're Valkyrie here and you have 2 frag grenades and you're about to pick up this plasma, people complain about hit markers in Halo 5. Oh, like, why is there hit markers? Like, that's a debate for another day, but as long as hit markers stay in the game, let's utilize it. And the fact that nades spawn faster in Halo 5 than other past competitive settings for Halo when it comes to nades, utilize them, because check someone could be crouching right here, someone could be crouching behind this pillar. There's all these other places that people can be crouching at. Use those nades to check out those spots. That's one way to do it. But obviously the con to using nades to gather information is revealing your positioning, because people can anticipate or it's basically and they can anticipate where you threw that nade from and locate your positioning, but maybe you want to do that intentionally, I don't know. But yeah, there's always pros and cons to everything. So now he's caught off guard. This guy sees him first, and basically you can get the stick, and now he dies. So he could have just played that more slow, gather information if he's going to play aggressive, or if he wants to play more passive, he could have just played no presence and chilled here and wait for this guy to transition, gather some more information, but that was not even done. I want to go back and talk about Envor here real quick on the tower side, because as you just saw right there, he just went in there and didn't really gather information. He's here. He has 2 frag grenades. There's another frag that spawns here, so he has more nades to gather information. When he goes up here, doesn't really check all his angles, and now this guy sees him first. Puts up shots. He ends up on the other side. He's trying to stay alive, but now he's just getting shot from 2 different people, and he gets eventually pinched. These 2 people come into tower now. Kill him, and now it's 2v1 if this guy goes in for the pinch. He wins that battle, but he's probably going to get cleaned up. He stays alive. Camel is coming up. And he eventually dies. Alright, there's that play. I'm about to end this video and talk about the next play. Let me just find a good starting spot for that. This player is going to start spawning outside, so we'll wait for that. This guy's going to die in tower, so this guy's going to be the first guy to spawn. Alright, let's end it. Start the next